Around 10,000 foreign criminals are currently living freely in the UK. The Home Office have finally started to return the illegal migrants, and the Labour Party attacked Keir Starmer on his stance on the migrant boats. Well, hello everyone and welcome to today's show. As you know, on this channel we've been keeping you up to date on the issues of illegal migrants, the migrant boats that are coming from Calais to Dover, and also we have more news in terms of foreign offenders in this country who are taking advantage of the system. Classic, right? And there's no one here to complain about it. And Keir Starmer is now being attacked by his own members. So the latest that we have from the Telegraph is that a record 9,400 foreign offenders are living freely in the UK as the government struggles to deport them. And the number of foreign criminals released from jail but yet to be deported has now more than doubled in the last 8 years. Well, this has always been a big problem for the Home Office and this country, which you think is a simple issue to fix. But when you have certain lawyers, left-wing lawyers, in the name of human rights, try to challenge the government when it comes to foreign offenders who are about to be deported, this happens. But in the last few years, this problem has been getting worse and worse, because back in 2012, the number was half of this. Yes, it is more than double than 3,950 foreign criminals in 2012 who were awaiting deportation after their release from jail. A record 846 were released in the 3 months to the end of June, according to the data. Now, obviously, the National Audit Office have found that the Home Office was deporting fewer illegal migrants, largely due to successful legal challenges, and criticised the department for not having a strategy to tackle it. The National Audit Office said that the department tells us that the decline in deportations is mostly explained because of all these challenges that are coming from left-wing lawyers, essentially, and there's no evidence that it has the Home Office have tried to actively understand and manage these challenges. Well, because they're all complacent in this civil service machine. Now, the Home Office data also showed that the number of asylum seekers with debit cards to pay for food, clothes and toiletries has risen to 30,171, up around a quarter from 23,796 in 2017. Well, that's one thing. The Home Office obviously claim that they are working on these issues. But at the same time, when there's no media pressure on these guys, from the junior civil servants to the permanent secretaries of this department, they have the power to hide all these problems, even from the Home Secretary. This has happened, for the past few decades. The Home Office civil service and all the civil servants in the Home Office have been trying to do this to essentially hide their own mess because they're so incompetent. Or some of them maybe have an agenda to actually do this on purpose to the country. We don't know exactly. I'm not going to accuse anyone of anything, but the Home Office have obviously said that it worked tirelessly to return those with no right to remain in the UK wherever possible. We make no apology for seeking to deport foreign national offenders, and since 2010 we have removed more than 53,000. I mean, we've had 53,000 foreign offenders in this country. That's a whole different problem anyway. I'm not saying that you'd be able to check every single person, but it seems like the almost open door policy of the 2000s is now coming back and bite us in, well, you know where. For example, when you have situations like this, mother of 8 who's 36 avoids jail after scrounging nearly £100,000 in illegal benefit claims that she'd made on behalf of her relatives living in Pakistan in return for going on a course to teach her that it's not a victimless crime. Really? So as long as she agrees to go on this course so that she learns that this is not a victimless crime, then she could avoid going to jail, even though she's essentially stolen £100,000, taxpayers' money. Well, yeah, when you have cases like this, what do you expect? Ordinary people out there, ordinary Brits, are going to get angry. And the silent majority, their voice is not being heard in the media. That's the whole point of having this type of platform, to be able to spread the news and actually talk about it. You just need to have a civil discussion about these issues. But when it comes to the BBC or Sky News, you don't really have that. This is why we have this YouTube channel, obviously, because we are the media. And to make sure that actually, before we finish the video, watch to the end of this because I have some updates for you guys. But going back to this important piece, because when you have like people like, you know, this mother of 8 who's been taking advantage of the system, why are you not surprised that people are kicking off? So Simon Jones, he's the only BBC reporter who's now been forced to cover the issue of migrant boats from Calais. So he said yesterday that the Home Office says a flight returning migrants who reached the UK by boat left today. This is again yesterday. Not clear where the flight went to or how many people were on board. Well, firstly, when I saw the tweet, I said, well, that's a good start, at least. Finally, they're doing something. But then a second tweet came with more details. Yeah, the second tweet, again, Simon Jones said that the Home Office are now saying that 12 migrants were returned to mainland Europe on a flight from the UK today. Again, this was yesterday. 6 people were removed to France and 6 to Germany. This included nationals from Kuwait, Iran, Syria, Iraq, and obviously various countries. Yeah, this is the start that we talked about. Yeah, well done, guys, I guess. 12. Yeah, tomorrow let's aim for 14, yeah? I know what the problem is. I mean, they've been complaining about the international law. I get it. But if you're able to return 12, you know, that means you can return more. And, you know, this is not about not being human or understanding that people have, you know, problems. But again, this is a legal issue. You have to go through the process. There is a process if you want to legally enter the country. We've said this so many times on this channel. The lefties keep attacking us. Keir Starmer is now actually criticizing the government and the Home Office for not acting on this. Yeah, and now he's getting attacked by his own party for not being left-wing enough. Yes, so Keir Starmer is facing a revolt from his supporters over Labour's stance on refugees. Firstly, illegal migrants, but okay. Because they say the claims that the party is turning a blind eye to desperate people trying to make it to the UK across the channel. Labour members were angered after the front bench criticised the government's incompetence in dealing with migrants arriving. So even this article is quite confusing. At first they say refugees, then they say migrants. Can you and then say obviously asylum seekers. They keep changing the phrase. Make up your mind, guys. Yeah, so Keir Starmer is obviously facing challenges from the Labour left. And you know, they've been using excuses to attack him. I'm not even defending Keir Starmer because policy-wise, they're not, you know, there's not much difference between him and Jeremy Corbyn. There's a difference when it comes to rhetoric and how they come across, but the domestic policies are very similar. Foreign policies, yes, they're quite different. That's why Keir Starmer was kind of worried about your ordinary working class Labour voters who are angry about the situation. But the Labour left are your typical champagne socialists. Yes, Open Labour, a soft left grouping which welcomed Sir Keir as leader, and the Labour Campaign for Free Movement, which worked with him on Brexit, are among the critics who say that the party's position on this issue is unacceptable. An open letter with 300 signatures, including a number of MPs, are calling for on the Labour leadership, our parliamentary representatives and our trade unions to join us in condemning the government. Yeah, it's all kicking off in the Labour Party. And now a separate petition on the issue organised by the left-wing group. I mean, Momentum is not just a left-wing group, it's a hard left-wing group, has also called on Sir Keir to end his silence on the scapegoating of refugees and migrants. Well, at least these guys put refugees and migrants together so that we don't get confused. And this has gathered 4,000 signatures. Well done, Momentum. They got more signatures than the Lib Dems have members. You know, achievement. But seriously, 4,000? Even the Labour left can't really get their act together. This whole situation is actually down to the government and the Tory party. The Conservatives themselves, the MPs and members, are also angry because of the way the Home Office have dealt with this. The Tories are putting forward a new asylum bill to actually change the law completely, and this is going to be creating more problems for the civil service. Yes, the Telegraph is saying that the Tories must address Britain's illegal migration crisis. Around 40 Conservative MPs obviously are preparing for this new asylum bill. That, you know, the whole point of this is to end all these claims from these migrants if the applicant had previously passed through a safe country in Europe already. So unless they had arrived in the UK by air or by ship from a war-torn land, every arrival must have travelled via a country where they would no longer be at risk. So that's been the biggest problem for the border force and border control. Obviously, people are coming from France and they're claiming that they're coming from somewhere else. Obviously, that's a lie because they know the loophole, because the smugglers are teaching them how to use the language when it comes to the border control. Well, so this pressure is now coming from the Conservative MPs, and I know that obviously the front bench are feeling the pressure, especially after all the U-turns that Downing Street have been making on a number of issues. They know that they need to provide some good news to the Conservatives, but also to the country in general. But again, the mainstream media, BBC, Sky, not going to tell you any of this, are they? It's okay. We're here because we are the media. As most of you know, we now have a new schedule, a daily schedule on this channel. So obviously I'll put the actual schedule properly at the end of the video so you guys get used to it. We have 2 videos a day. And because of the members of the channel, I want to say a massive thank you as usual for the members for supporting us, but all of you obviously for subscribing and watching me every day. But we are now actually providing more perks and benefits to the members, but everyone as well. For example, every Friday we're going to have a call-in Q&A, so we can actually call us. But in terms of that segment, every day between 11 a.m. and 12 p.m. Our phone lines are open. So you could actually give us a call, talk to me directly if you want to be on the show, and actually ask your question. And anyone can actually call. It's open to everybody. But if you're a member, we have something more special for you guys: a video chat, video Q&A. Basically, it's a similar obviously concept, but you could actually be on the show with your face if you want to, obviously. And in terms of the call-in show, the phone number is 07538 605 412, or obviously if you're calling from abroad, 0044 7538 605 412. As I said, every day 11 a.m. till 12 p.m. Give us a call, and we'll give you more information about all the other segments. Make sure to look at the schedule at the end of this video. I'm Tousi. I'll see you guys in the next video.